My name is Ethan Feeney. I am CEO and founder of Stateline Solar, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about how to read a power bill. So on today's issue of how to read a power bill, we'll be going through a Commonwealth Edison utility bill here. So we'll get right into it. The first part of the information that we're going to go over is just the normal billing information. This is going to have the customer's name, the service address, the billing address, a phone number, and really just stating where this bill is going to be sent, and then also where is the service address of this meter. This is the dreaded red bar that everyone is opening up their power bill, taking a look at and saying, holy cow, another $100, another $87.60, throwing more money away to the power companies. This is where we're seeing your payment due. This is providing when your payment is due, the amount of your payment, and then also showing the account number and issue date of your account. The next section of the bill is the total energy usage part. This is the portion that us as a solar installer, we are really looking for on the utility bill. This gives us the data and information from the past year. Monthly data, but again, over the past year of the time frame. This will give us insight on how much energy that you've used monthly and then over the last period of a year. So what we're going to do as a solar installer is we will be issuing you a proposal based upon the consumption of the last year on your ComEd bill or on your utility bill. So the larger the numbers, the larger the monthly numbers, the more solar panels, the more power you will be required to produce. Retail electric suppliers are something that can commonly get kind of mixed up. Some customers really have no idea what a retail electric supplier is. The definition of a retail electric supplier is any electric company that's been certified by the ICC to sell electricity to either a residential or commercial customer. These suppliers are over and above the utility company. The utility company, being ComEd, could be a retail electric supplier. However, there are also multiple other retail electric suppliers, or RESs, as we would call them in the solar industry. One way you can monitor who your retail electric supplier is right on your power bill. Below your supply number, you will see a blurb that tells you who your retail electric supplier is. In this case, you'll see XYZ Energy Services provides your energy. This is the place where you would see potentially an NRG or a Constellation or a Mid-American. There's multiple different retail electric suppliers, many that we deal with on a daily basis. So one thing to note you want to do is these retail electric suppliers are based on a contract. So that could be a 5-year contract, could be a 3-year contract. This differs between municipalities. So one thing we again want to stress to you as the customer, if we go through a solar installation, we want to monitor who that retail electric supplier is and also how long have you been on that contract in order to make sure we're getting the correct amount of credits. We'll go through that a little bit later in diagnosing the power bill. So the utility and delivery of the power bill is stating who is powering your facility and who is also supplying the delivery, the transmission lines, transformers, the specific lines that are feeding the power to your home. That's where this delivery charge is rooted from. Again, what we want to make sure we note is the delivery charge is based upon the kilowatt hours of usage. So as that kilowatt hour of usage goes down, that delivery fee will also go down as well. The next portion is the taxes and fees. The taxes and fees are a conglomeration of multiple different small fees. We'll jump into, on the back side of your power bill, diagnosing each one of those line items, each one of those taxes and fees. The meter information. Meter information tells us how many meters are on site, what that meter number is, how the meter readings are recorded, and then when the service dates are happening. So not every month is it from the 1st to the 30th or the 31st. These service dates can be within the middle of the month, as on this bill you see December 10th through the 13th of January. So that would be the service date of this power bill. We also take this into account when we're inputting this data into our software proposal creator. This will actually monitor when each one of these bills are inputted, and also when we will be seeing the correct net metering credits on the outside of it. So under the meter information tab, you will also see two separate meters. These meters could be labeled the same meter, i.e. having the same meter number. However, you will see the kilowatt hours from grid and also the kilowatt hours to the grid. These are two separate numbers. We monitor them separately so that we can tell when the power has been pulled through that meter from the grid, or when we're actually turning the meter backwards and sending that power to the utility back onto the grid. So you will see two different numbers here on this power bill. Under the usage, where it's blue, you see 1,123 kilowatt hours from the grid, and we have a push of 658 kilowatts to the grid. So you'll see when we break this bill down, those numbers will actually subtract from each other. We'll have a total energy usage around a 600 kilowatt hour number. The charge details are where the nitty-gritty of the power bill is located. These details give the actual numbers, the costs, the taxes, and the supply fees of your power bill. So when we ask for the front and the back of the power bill, this is really what we're looking for on the back side of the power bill. We really want to see what are the rates, what are the charges that this customer is being charged. First of all, are those within normal standards of our industry? Because if they aren't, we need to fix that first. That's our first step, is to save that customer money in other avenues. If that's on a power bill where we can reduce some rates, that's the easiest way to save on your electricity bill. Going solar is just a benefit at that point. So one thing I want to mention here on these charges is on the top you see your supply from a Mid-American Energy Service. That would be the retail electric supplier in this case. You see there's an energy charge of 465 kilowatt hours of electricity. That was the difference of that blue bar up on the top right corner, 1,123 kilowatt hours subtracted from 658. So you can see we've got 465 total kilowatt hours that we will be charged for. We are charged at a 6.43 cent rate. So that is on industry that's about average. That's a good rate that we would like to see. So you can see the supply charges are $29.90. That's a kind of an average bill, something we would see pretty normally. Here we can see a customer charge of $11.30. That is not based upon the kilowatt hours. That is just a normal monthly charge. This is one thing to note that we cannot get rid of. We cannot reduce this charge. It is a fixed monthly charge from ComEd directly. The second one would be the standard metering charge. That is very similar to the customer charge in that we cannot reduce that charge. It is a fixed monthly charge. So customers ask us quite often, well, can I get a zero bill? In a standard electric retail delivery rate, as you can see, this is a residential single rate, non-electric heat. There is no way to get a $0 bill. That is a misconception. The minimum bill we can get is around a $15, $16 bill. That is due to those customer charges and standard metering charges. There are customers that are on a different billing rate, a little bit different bill type. They could be on an hourly or a time of use rate. That's a little different subject. We could talk through those bills, and there's a potential to get a zero or actually get paid for that electricity. Keeping moving here, you have the distribution facilities charge, which is a small charge, basically using the facilities, using the lines, using the transformers on the facility. Illinois electricity distribution charge. This is another small charge paid to the state of Illinois in order to keep our distribution facilities upgraded. The final charge here you can see is a net metering credit on the delivery. So one thing we like to mention is that with the net metering, you are credited dollar for dollar for every single cent of your bill. I said standard customer charges, the metering charge, we can't get rid of those. But anything that is at a kilowatt hour rate, i.e. being the distribution charges, we can reduce those rates with the net metering credits. So you can see here, we are actually getting paid a credit of $24.09. So that brings our delivery charges to $32.85. If we continue on the taxes and fees portion, this is one kind of spot that a lot of customers overlook. These taxes and fees rarely change. These are kind of a set amount of fees, but no one has really ever explained what they are and where they go. So the first one I want to explain is the environmental cost recovery adjustment. There is a recovery adjustment on every bill. This is to help cases within ComEd's service area. It is a cost recovery, basically giving a small charge to every customer, giving electricity to some underprivileged. The next standard is the Renewable portfolio standard. This is a small fee in which we are actually funding the solar renewable energy credits. Now, a lot of questions we get about the solar renewable energy credits are, where is this money from? Who is looking after this money? And really the answer to that is you as a customer. You have been building this money up. There is a fund that they're pulling monthly fees and charges from each individual customer, goes into a portfolio, into a bank, and we are now seeing that money back in the form of an SREC program. If you have questions about the SREC program, just give us a call. We will be more than happy to explain it. But this is where some of those funds are originated from. So you can see from the Renewable Energy Portfolio Standard, we have a $2.12 fee from this monthly bill. The Zero Emission Standard is another small fee that we're seeing. It's a $2.13 fee. That is on almost every power bill you're going to see. Again, the next one is energy efficiency programs. That's very similar to the Renewable Portfolio Standard. This is funding efficiency programs that we have elected to fund with our power bills. The next one is the state tax. Not much to explain on that. Everyone should be fairly familiar with our state tax. And the following one is the net metering credit. So again, we do get that net metering credit on those kilowatt hours that we did produce, reducing these fees by $3.62. So that brings our grand total to $4.08 of fees. When we add these three numbers together, we see our total service bill of $66.83. One thing we want to note is at the bottom under the miscellaneous. This is where we are going to monitor your net metering credits. So if we have rollover, if you've produced extra electricity and it's the summertime and we're rolling metering credits over, this is where you would see that number. You would see these numbers starting to increase throughout the summertime, and then once it gets towards the end of the winter, we would be using those excess gen credits those credits would start to dwindle back towards zero. And the April renewal period, it is April or October, but we are choosing to renew all of our customers in April in order for them to maximize on the electricity used in the wintertime. So in closing, bringing all of these blurbs together, this is a fairly complex thing to look at, but we see it fairly regularly. We see this monthly, where a lot of people are we're scared, right? We don't want to see what that bill is. It's another 120, 200, 500. It could be even upwards to thousands of dollars for some customers. Here at Stateline Solar, we're in business to help you ease that pain. We want you to actually get excited to open that ComEd or utility bill. We've got customers now that are sending us power bills just ecstatic, excited about how their solar is working and how much money they're saving on monthly bills. And that's really what we're in business to do, is help you save, help the community save, and really reduce our carbon footprint by going solar.